In this video, I'm going to be clarifying a few points with striker builds. With a lot of the work I've done recently, comparison of strikers, changing up striker builds, we no longer use the chest or the backpack, or at the very least we shouldn't be. How this then compares to things like Heartbreaker, as well as where does the full striker build now currently sit with both the chest and backpack. So we're just going to be looking into that. However, before we get into this, I need to do a little bit of back history. What you're looking at here was the gap between strikers and Heartbreaker before TU22. I've still spec'd in a Lexington just because we can now actually use the same weapon. One of the biggest drawbacks or problems with comparing the two is they both fundamentally needed different weapons. But you could theoretically put a FAMAS on both back into Deer, but obviously FAMAS is going to struggle with the overall uptime and performance of Heartbreaker simply because we can't attach the linked laser pointer from the technician specialization. But this is still an 11.98% difference on average. Like, the difference in damage between strikers and Heartbreaker was very much noticeable simply just because strikers just did quite a bit more. So guess what this is? Anyone? I mean, the clue is kind of there. This is what Heartbreaker and strikers comparatively do now. This is 4-piece strikers, chest with coyotes, the same thing that we've basically always used. And then the Heartbreaker build is 4-piece Heartbreaker, coyotes mask, and a Cheska backpack with vigilance or unstoppable force, depending on what one you want to go. They both end up being the same. But the long and short of it is Heartbreaker is 2.26% more powerful than strikers of this variant. I then mathed out what I am dubbing the dispatch striker, which you can see here, which is, I've done a full video on it. There'll be a link in the description if you want to go see it, but it's stronger than both Heartbreaker and the previous striker variation, which then led a lot of people to asking how does like chest and backpack striker now compare, simply just because of the changes that were made and as to whether or not it's still worthwhile running that style of build in Legendary. The short answer is yes. Strikers with chest and backpack, hopefully you can see at the bottom, is still doing massive amounts of damage comparative to basically any other gear set within this regard. That being said, the gap is nowhere near as large as it used to be. I do quite recall that the difference between chest and backpack strikers and Heartbreaker used to be like 40%. It's now 20.03 on average. So yeah, strikers definitely got hit. I would be hard pressed to say it's probably the only worthwhile endgame set for the more casual place anymore. That being said, it is still definitely going to be one of, if not the best options overall, depending on how you personally wish to play. Now, with all that being said, for those people that are playing Heartbreaker, I'm still looking into it. I know a few others are looking into it, but there seems to be like a genuine like stacking problem, like a bug with Heartbreaker. So for those that don't or haven't played around with it or just generally just don't know, put a Heartbreaker build on, go to the range, you'll see how fast you can stack in the range. That's how fast you should be stacking. The moment you go into the open world, it's maybe 50% of that, if you're lucky, and it feels awful. So when it comes to the overall stack gain of Heartbreaker, there is an issue. I know a lot of people don't like how quick you lose stacks with Heartbreaker, but for me personally, that's kind of the point, because in order to maximize the use of the bonus armor, you actually need those stacks to disappear pretty damn quick. I personally wouldn't actually mind it being a higher stack loss, but that's just me. I'm weird. That way you're constantly able to get more and more bonus armor without having to rely on the cheese of removing a piece and putting it back on again. Anyway, that is it for this video. Hopefully this has answered a few of your questions. If you have any more, do let me know. I'll either reply to you directly or it will just be calls for another video like this. However, in the meantime, have fun. Good luck. Don't die. It's bad for the health.